Good evening, Tuckahoe. This is a special meeting of the Board of Trustees of Tuckahoe. Today is Monday, May 16th, and this meeting is called to order. And would everyone please rise for the pledge to the flag? Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the Deputy Clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Giordano?
Present.
Trustee Quigley?
Present.
Trustee Luis?
Present.
Trustee Hayes?
Present.
Mayor Eklund?
Present. We're gathered here tonight. This is a special meeting to work on some. The program is called the CDBG program, the Community Development Block Program. And the first item on our agenda is a resolution, but I'm going to ask for a motion to table resolution number 1. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
And discussion. We have put a tremendous amount of energy into trying to come to a decision on whether or not we want to maintain a participant in the CDBG program. And I want to certainly thank our counselor and all the board members for their input on this. So I'm just going to ask our village attorney if he can kind of give us a summary as to where we're at.
Mayor, in the agreement, which is the intermunicipal agreement proposed between the County of Westchester and the Village of Tuckahoe, there's a particular provision which would require the Village of Tuckahoe to use it to actively further implementation of the settlement agreement through the municipality's land use regulations and other affirmative measures to assist development of affordable housing, such as promotion of the model ordinance provisions, which is available on the County Planning Department's website and included as part of the IP. That particular clause and paragraph has been of concern to board members. We've been negotiating up until even this evening with the County Attorney's Office. The County Attorney's Office has agreed to revise the language, which we're still working on, to, at this point, use reasonable efforts to actively further implementation of the settlement agreement through the municipality's land use regulations and other affirmative measures to assist the development of affordable housing, such as the promotion of inclusionary zoning. That's where we last left off. That language, at least verbally, was agreeable to the County Attorney's Office, but we're going to continue to speak with the County Attorney's Office to see if there would be any further movement with respect to that language.
Thank you. We're going to try to get him on the phone tomorrow on a conference call and see if we can have a little more discussion on this. We believe that we may have a few more tweaks possibly to this paragraph in this piece in this document, so we're certainly hoping that we'll be able to get some additional changes made on it. But with that, I'm actually going to ask any of the board members who'd like to discuss this. I mean, we'll probably have more chance for discussion on it again, but does anybody want to weigh in on this now? And if not, anybody from the public like to come and have a discussion on this?
Everybody, Jeff Zuckerman. I live at 24 Bronx Street in Tuckahoe. I'm also the chair of the board of the Tuckahoe Housing Authority. I come to you tonight wearing both hats, and let me wear my hat of the chair of the board of the Tuckahoe Housing Authority first. As you all know for sure, I know if the village doesn't sign the agreement, then the Tuckahoe Housing Authority can no longer apply for community development block grants. Right now, last week we opened bids. We just awarded the contract in the senior building, senior disabled building, 49 apartments. We are about to spend $150,000 on and do all 49 apartments. They'll be done by September. They haven't been done since 1972, all done with CDBG money down at Tuckahoe Housing Authority. That was the biggest grant we've ever gotten. Last year we put a new generator in, which actually kicked on a few weeks ago. We had a minor blackout. Thank goodness it kicked on for the seniors and disabled. Also in that same building, that was $99,000 grant we got from CDBG in the last round. Those two are the things we were awarded. It says $250,000 was put to very, very good use. We would definitely not have been able to do either project, okay? We now have 7 proposals that we are ready. We didn't hand them in because we're waiting for you guys. And they're everything from roofs and ADA-compliant bathrooms and all sorts of security devices, better cameras, and all sorts of things that we have lined up that we hope, that the county would give us some of that money. And we will not be able to apply for any of that. It would be, as I said last time I was here, it would be a huge loss. Irreplaceable, just as it's going to be irreplaceable for the village. So we're just sitting, waiting, hoping, praying. We've got our proposals done. We're ready to bring them to the county by June 1st. And it would be a tremendous loss, as I assume it would be a tremendous loss to Frank in the back with DPW and the village. That's all I have to do is say with my hat on as chair of the Tuckahoe Housing Authority. Now, let me put on my hat as resident of the village of Tuckahoe and taxpayer. I did a little research. I noticed on this, the agenda for tonight, you guys were going to put in for $750,000 in this round, and I checked with the county. We have received $7 million since the inception of this program. We have actually received 3.5% of all the money given to all the municipalities in Westchester. Now, for 1 square mile and 40 municipalities, 3.5%, we got more than our share. We've done extremely well. $7 million out of the $150 million is actually looks like it's more like 4%. But in any event, we have done extremely well. I have no idea how we're going to replace that. In fact, there's only 2 things that could happen. Either we're not going to do the projects, or my taxes are going to go up. There isn't a third alternative. There really isn't, just like there is, we have no alternative. We can't raise taxes down at the Tuckahoe Housing Authority, so with that hat back on, we just can't do the projects. We'll get some money. We have some capital money that we get, capital fund money, but we don't have this kind of money. We don't have an extra $250,000. So here in the village, I don't know how else you do it. I don't know how else you reline sewers or whatever it is you do, other than raise taxes or don't do the work. You can't fix parks. You can't do Main Street Park, Circuit Avenue Park. You can't do the things you did with CDBG. You can't find $7 million. We only have a $10 million budget here. Okay? So I don't know how else it gets done. I mean, unless somebody could give me an answer that either you raise taxes or you don't do the work. Or you could borrow, but even if you borrow to do these things, which is the only other alternative, you could borrow. And, I mean, you could tell me you're going to go look for other funding and blah, blah, blah. We've done that. We've hired people to do grant writing for us. None of that's ever worked out on a large scale. So you borrow. There's still debt service that it's going to cost me as a taxpayer. So this is a loss. We have been a great beneficiary of this program, the village of Tuckahoe. We've received more than our share, so to speak, over the last 25 years of this program. And to lose it is a loss. It's a loss. It's a loss to every taxpayer. We just got a 6.3% village tax increase. That was as high as it's been in the last 4 years, 5 years. And now I don't see how we're going to do this.
Where do you think, sorry, I don't mean to cut you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where do you think those federal funds are coming from to pay for it? It's not that money's coming out of thin air, right? I mean, your federal tax dollar is what's being used to fund that. So in one way or another, Jeff, the money is not coming, it's not that it's, some kind of gift from the federal government. It's not being paid for. It's being paid for by our taxes, right? So it's a loss, but it's something that we're already paying for in one way or another.
Yeah, but we're going to pay for, okay, I hear that argument.
Okay.
I certainly can understand the argument, but
That's one thing, but it's not free
we already
money.
paid for that money, but now we're going to pay for it twice by not getting the money. Somebody else is going to get the use of that money. And you paid for it and I paid for it. So we're going to pay, we already paid for the money, and now somebody else is going to get the use of our tax dollars that paid for that money.
Now
This $750,000 we're applying for is now going to end up in another municipality.
Let's put things in perspective. Really, it's $7 million over 33 years, which is an average of somewhere under $200,000 a year. And frankly, of that, the housing authorities has been, what, $800,000 or less over that entire time, over a 33-year
They just
period.
didn't apply for it.
So you can apply for $10 million. It's really what, it's the net of what you're going to get. we also find ourselves in a situation where the federal government is cutting back on these programs, right? I mean, there's been a reduction. We were just meeting with Anthony Zaino, who told us that there's been a 15% reduction of these CBD funding. So, yes, there's money there, but we don't know whether, first of all, we don't know whether the grants are going to be approved. Second of all, we don't know whether the funding is going to be there in the future with the precipice that we're going over with our federal tax, our federal tax burden right now. And the other thing to consider is, I know you've done, and I do appreciate the fact that you want to see improvements to the housing authority. I certainly do, and to bring improvements to our village. I mean, these are good things, but there also are. Have you done any research as to what the stipulations are, as to what the new agreement is, and what that says? I mean, those are things to really be considering as well. And as a taxpayer, with your taxpayer, your village taxpayer hat on.
Yeah, remember, I'm chair of the board of the Tuckahoe Housing Authority.
Yeah.
So a few more affordable apartments doesn't scare me. It doesn't. And that population doesn't scare me at all. And it obviously scares some board members, and that's why we're walking away from this, possibly. And I find it upsetting. I really do. It's a philosophical issue, and it's upsetting to me.
Well, there's more to. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I take exception with that, because we're not walking away from anything. We are putting in a tremendous amount of effort to try and get the best language we can for potentially approving these funds. So it's not that.
I didn't mean that it was.
I mean, if we were walking away from it, this would have
when you
stayed on the
started.
agenda, and you know what? I don't think anybody is really, well, I'm not going to speak for anyone else other than myself, but the language that we have here can absolutely be, we're looking to have some more changes to benefit all current and future residents of the village, so.
And I appreciate that, Stephen. Listen, no one in the last X number of years, whether you mayor or village trustee, has done more to keep the CDBG grant money going and well utilized for every village resident. So I know I thought I said that last time here, so I thank you again for that. So I'll come back next Monday. I hope you guys can work it out so that we get language that's agreeable to everyone. I really do, so that we can all benefit. Because we're going to get cuts, Tom, I just want to let you know, we've been promised 15% cuts down at the Housing Authority in our capital fund. So, yes, it's happening all over. So that would be like a double whammy. So, thank you. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Good luck, you guys.
Thank you. The next item is, I'm sorry.
The roll call.
Oh, yes, sorry, thank you. See that, still learning. Roll call, please.
Trustee Giordano.
In favor.
Trustee Quigley.
In favor.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Hayes.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Next item is seeking a motion to table resolution number 2. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Trustee Giordano.
In favor.
Trustee Quigley.
In favor.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Hayes.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. And the last item on our agenda is resolution number 3, which is authorizing the village clerk to issue a parade permit for the Memorial Day Parade to the Veterans Ceremonial Parade Committee for Saturday, May 21st at 6 p.m. This parade will start at Circuit Avenue, at the end of Circuit Avenue, and it will end at the World War II Monument in Depot Square. The liability insurance requirement has been waived. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion?
Trustee Giordano.
In favor.
Trustee Quigley.
In favor.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Hayes.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. And finally, I ask for a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Good night, everyone.